Hi there. I just want to do a talk, and this talk is going to be about, well, it's going to be about, me, myself, because before this awakening, I had a lot of insecurities, and I know that now that I had to experience those insecurities, so that I would have insight later. Like later on, at the age of 24, I'm 32 now, but at 24 I had this unexpected spiritual awakening, and it's been relentless awakenings and insights ever since that. And so I just pass on knowledge, and one of the things that I understand is about, like, I don't like to use the label narcissism, but everything, that kind of stuff all comes from insecurity. Insecurity is the thing that manifests it. It's like I always say, and if you want to know, what someone thinks of you, watch the way they behave towards you, or watch how they talk to others about you, or what are they saying around your company. Are they saying things like, are they having little digs at things associated with you in your life? Well, that's a reflection of how they feel. And these people do this to try and put themselves up a little bit. Because they feel so bad. I was going down this road. And this is why I can perceive it, because what you perceive is the mirror of you see. So I still remember feelings that I used to have, and I remember the kind of personality that I used to have, and that changed with this awakening, because what I started to do is I started to grow. The people that do this lack a lot of self-love. They don't have a lot of self-love. So when you don't have a lot of self-love, you can't love others. And now I've got a lot of self-love, so this is why I'm always doing these videos and trying to help this global awakening. This is a very important thing to understand what develops narcissism and this kind of thing. All those kind of things all manifest from insecurities, like I say, and low self-image. And so when someone doesn't value themselves a lot, it doesn't take them much before they see someone that is better than them, or they perceive it to be better. And so they start getting very insecure. And this is why they do it. People talk about narcissism, like I've watched videos on YouTube about it, but they don't talk on why. They don't give you why they're like that. It's because of a lack of self-love. The self-love, but that's why it's all self-based, because they lack it, see. As your self-love goes up, you start to give, because you want to, But that's why I just wanted to do a video, and sometimes I do videos about this subject, because there's many psychologists that talk about it on YouTube, but they're good at slagging off narcissists, but they're not good at helping anyone. That's what I think about them. I think that there's a lot of psychologists that actually don't realize that they're actually perceiving the reflection of themselves. And this is a psychological fact also, but a lot of them on YouTube will criticize, but they don't talk on the solution. The solution to narcissism is to start to love yourself and to forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is how to cure it. These people don't forgive themselves, and so what happens is when you're not liking yourself and you think deep down that you're not a good person, you will then be horrible all the time. You'll think that the world is better than you and that it's a competition, and you compete with everyone. And because you have very low self-image, everyone will be better than you. The solution to cure insecurities and narcissism and low confidence, low self-image is to forgive yourself for these traits. Forgive yourself for feeling this way. Understand that everything has to come from nothing, and that means that you're aware now. But if you come from nothing, nothingness is one infinity. So we're all the same one. So that means that you're just jealous of yourself. So it's silly. So this is what should help you, by looking at that and looking at the fact that everything is glued together and connected and in fact one. And yeah, everything is connected and one. And start to forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is how you forgive others. People talk a lot about that also. Oh, Jesus said forgive. Well, I don't do what Jesus done. I do what I tell me to do. You know, I do what my soul tells me. I go with that. You know, I follow what's within me, and since this unexpected spiritual awakening, that's what I do. But going back to the cure for narcissism and insecurities, because insecurity is the core of these problems. They're not just a monster. They might act like it. They're not just a monster that's doing it for no reason. There's a reason behind everything. There's a cure for everything. And the cure for this problem is to, like I say, forgive yourself. That's one of the first things that started to happen, the spiritual awakening. I started to forgive myself for elements, for being human, for feeling things or thinking things. And as you're doing this, you're forgiving yourself, and you're actually healing these elements of yourself, because you're forgiving yourself now. Right? Come to terms with the fact that you've got imperfections, and treat them as if they're perfect, these elements. And then you start to forgive more and more. And then your self-love builds and builds and builds. This is why in spiritual awakening your DNA is being corrected to that of your divine self. As a word for DNA, a big word, but I can't pronounce it, so. But that doesn't mean that I'm not intelligent. It doesn't mean someone's more intelligent to pronounce a word, because intelligence is everything. It's all around you. It's the life force, you know. That's what intelligence is. It's everything that exists. It's all infinite intelligence, because everything has to come from nothingness, and nothingness, like I said earlier in the video, it's infinity. Well, back to narcissism, and yeah, insecurity is the core of that. And the cure, like I say, it's self-forgiveness. And then what happened? This is what happened to me in this unexpected spiritual awakening. I started to forgive myself within, and now it's manifested in me wanting to give now, wanting to give, to do these talks and these videos. That's what I like to do. I don't think I want to go any further than the videos, you know. I don't have an ego that wants to go on a stage or anything like that. I think that much of my ego has died now. And so I just want to use the internet and share this awakening and help that way. And that's what's happening with this global awakening. We can use the internet for us, but this global awakening is about helping us do that. You know, instead of, you know, because these things, the internet is powerful. And like children, you got to, you know, understand that you need to understand this kind of stuff to use it properly and to use it for your advantage. But that's what we can make happen in this global awakening. But yeah, that is the cure for narcissism and stuff like that, is self-forgiveness. This is why people are mentally ill, because they're being told they're ill and they're not forgiving themselves. They're thinking they're terrible, but they're missing the element that this is just a part of your traits. Everyone's got traits that they don't like, but we all like something in someone that someone doesn't like. So what you don't like isn't ugly to other people, you see. So you should be more aware of that and start the self-forgiveness. And as you're doing this more and more, you will start to understand and feel how this insecurity and neediness is dying inside you, the ego will start dying. Then you will heal, and then as you're doing this, you access your divinity. You access these tantric, orgasmic energies that are all within us, but we must heal and self-forgive first. And that is the cure for narcissism. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you.